Hello and welcome back to Runtime HRMS. In today's video, we will see how the new employee salary management page works. So once you open any particular employee record and if you go to the salary tab, you will see salary revisions like this. Now this view is same as before. There is no change here, but once you click edit on any particular salary revision, this is a section which has undergone some changes. So we will try to explain it in this today's video. So first of all, the salary that is comprising of this particular revision 22,600 is loaded over here, and you can see various parts of the salary like basic HRA, special allowance, and whatever components you have created. Then you may also have certain deductions which are appearing over here, and it shows the net salary. So basically, gross salary less all the deductions becomes net salary, and then we add back the employer contributions which are directly contributed to government departments like ESI, PF and pension, and that brings you to the CTC. So this is same as before, no change over here. If you make any changes, like say for example if I add 2000 of special allowance, I have to recalculate to bring the new CTC. Now this new CTC includes changes because of this special allowance as well as changes in the contributions. So if the PF is applicable on basic, there will be no change, but ESI is applicable on basic, HR and special allowance, so the ESI contribution will change, and that's why the total CTC will also change. So this is how you can make changes and preview the CTC changes over here by clicking on recalculate. Now the new options added over here are shown on the right. So first of all, for this particular revision, you can select whether it's an increment or not. So that has no impact on the salary structure. Then you also have an option here to avoid calculating overtime. Again, this will not have impact on the salary structure, but this will have impact on the final salary calculation. If you have defined overtime rules and you have disabled it, then this employee will not get a overtime calculated. Now we will see the ESI settings. So if you click on do not deduct ESI, then the system will ignore this particular deduction. So ESI deduction 165 and ESI contribution 715. These will be disabled. This will become 0, and this will also impact the CTC. If you have enabled it but you want to deduct ESI above ceiling, so usually ESI is restricted to 21,000, and usually it is comprising of the fixed components. So suppose right now 15 plus 5 is 20 and then 22, so the ESI must be calculated at 21,000. But if I click over here, then the ESI deduction will increase from the amount above 21,000 also. So if this 2000 is included in the ESI components, then the ESI will be computed on the full value, not the value below 21,000. So that is one thing you can do over here. Then if we go back to PF settings, if I click on do not deduct PF, the PF deduction, PF contribution, pension contribution, EADLI, this all will become 0. If I enable it back, then it will show back. Now do not deduct PF pension. So in certain cases, if the employee is aged above 60 years and you do not want to contribute to the pension, you want entire contribution to go to the PF, then this change can help you out. So over here we have 550 in the PF and 1250 in the pension. If I click over here, the entire 1800 will go to PF, pension will become 0. That is another thing. Now PF also has a limitation of 15,000. So right now it's 15,000 over here, and the full 15,000, the 12% of 15,000 1800 which is being deducted. But in certain cases, employees have salary more than 15,000 and they want the PF to be deducted on the full salary, not just the 15,000 limit. So in those cases, you can select this option, and that will deduct the PF on the full salary. So even if the basic is 20,000, the PF will deduct on 20,000. Similarly, as an employer, if you also want to increase your contribution to PF above 15,000, you can select this option, and then your contribution will also be done on the full amount, not just 15,000. Now we have one more option over here, minimum deduction. So in certain cases, what happens is if the salary is below 15,000 and the deduction is done on the actual amount. So let's take an example over here, like say 12,000 is the salary, and this PF deduction is 1440 now. So 1440 is less than 1800 because the basic has become less than 15,000. Now if I want to make sure that PF should always be 1800, then I can put it 1800 over here, and then PF will still be calculated as 1800. So in certain companies or certain organizations, the PF compliance is done in such a way that the contribution is always the minimum, even if the salary is less than the designated amount, like 15,000. So in those cases, you can use this function. And if you do that, then your contribution will also go up. So not just this 1800 will increase, this will also increase. This will also become 1800, right? Then moving on to the next option, which is do not deduct professional tax. So in case you do not want this professional tax to be deducted, you can click here. And if professional tax is applicable in certain states only, and depending on the configuration, so suppose you do not want professional tax to be deducted, you can disable this. And if it is normally applicable, you can enable it, and it will show the amount as per the state law. So certain states have deductions only in the month of June, December. Certain states have deductions during the entire 12 months. So accordingly it will show. Thereafter, we have income tax settings. So you can choose this option, do not deduct income tax. TDS deduction will not happen now. And if you want to manually enter the TDS deduction, you can still do that using the data capture, but system will not compute the TDS as per the norms. And this option is metro city resident. So basically certain cities, metro cities are identified by income tax as metro cities, and over there the HRA exemption calculation is different as compared to rest of the country. So if this particular employee is a resident of Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, and certain other cities which are part of the metro group, so you can select this option, and the HRA exemption will be done as per the metro city rules. If that is not applicable, you can keep it off. Similarly, LWF setting. So certain states have LWF. I think mostly probably Maharashtra has LWF. So if the selected state over here is Maharashtra, and the LWF is applicable as per Maharashtra, but you do not want to deduct because of some reason, you can still disable it. Otherwise, it will deduct as per the rules of the state. Another thing to note over here is LWF and income tax settings are not shown in this calculation, because income tax settings depend on the amount of income throughout the year. So the computation of income tax is always done for entire year, not for just 1 month. That is why income tax is computed when you run the payroll, and it is not part of this salary structure. Similarly, LWF is applicable in certain months only, like September, December. So that is why LWF is also not shown over here in the list of deductions. But these settings control how the payroll runs. So if you disable it, then the LWF will not occur in the payroll. Similarly, if you disable income tax deduction will not occur in the payroll run. So that is how you can control the configuration of salary for a particular revision. Earlier, these options were part of the employee master. So whenever you made these changes, so for example, if you disabled the ESI, it will be disabled for all the salary revisions. So in those cases, we were not able to maintain the separate salary structures for separate revision. Suppose salary ESI is applicable till here, but I just want to disable from here. Then I was not able to do it because the setting was global at an employee level. Now the setting is at a salary structure level, so you can control different salary structures as per the different configuration. You can have one setting over here, another setting over here, another setting over here. So that is the major change that we have done over here in the salary structure. Now one quick thing, suppose you have created certain salary structures with the predefined rates, like say for example you have created a salary structure where 50% is basic, 25% is HRA, 25% is special allowance. So in those cases you can simply load the structure over here. So when you are adding a new employee, adding a new salary structure, you can go over here, you can select the salary structure, say for example manager, you can put the total CTC, total gross salary, and then load it. So as per the percentages defined for a basic HRA, the system will do the auto allocation over here, and then you can simply save it or recalculate it and save it. So that is how you can use this salary structures, and salary structures can be defined using the setup and salary options. We have a separate video for salary structures that you can find on our YouTube channel, and to see how the salary structures work. So that is it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for your trust in Runtime HRMS.